Oh my gosh, this is so scary. I just don't want to blow stuff up. But you know what? Here we go. We're gonna just hook up this guy to this guy. And so of all the art mediums that I am really bad at, this one is the worst. So I wanted to do a project that would make this easier. So I had this brilliant idea while I was driving in the car and decided I'm going to do my Arduino project that I've been working on. I've been learning Arduinos. I'm not an electrical engineer, put that somewhere here. I wanted to do an Arduino project that attached motors to this guy, and so it turns it and goes like that. Why am I so bad at the Etch-a-Sketch? I don't know. Part of it is I can't make a line without having to like stair step if it's not straight up or down. And like I'll be in the middle of a drawing and I'll just completely forget which way the knob goes. And I won't be thinking about it and I'll just turn it completely the wrong way, the wrong knob. And ever since I was a kid, I've never been able to do it. So I want to be able to do it. And that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cheat. I don't have to make a masterpiece on it. I would just like to get it to work. So if it was like 80% there, like I could draw with a joystick attached to the motors on this, that would be phenomenal. So one thing I forgot to say is that I've never done anything like this before. So the first thing I'm gonna do is run through some tutorials and get a separate motor running. So if I can figure out how to do that. And then the second thing I'm gonna do is get a motor running with this guy right here. If I can get that far, then hopefully I'll be able to move on to actually getting the rest of the thing to work. Okay, so originally, dang it. Here, let me go get the thing.
2 hours later.
Oh, okay. So in order for this to work, I need 2 motors. And what I did was I went and grabbed, someone had given us a bunch, like 4 of these that didn't work. It was just like random. And they've just been sitting around, kids have been using them out in the sandbox. So I went out and tore out, I was hoping to get 2 motors that were exactly the same. Fortunately, inside of these, there's a driver for each motor for each side. So I robbed the 2 motors out of this guy. So this is a motor with a little transmission. It's got gears in there, and those gears step this down at about 1 to 18.5 ratio. So it slows it down and gives it a little more power. So all I have to do is now take this guy and hook it up to the one that I had the fan on and see if I can get this guy to go. And if I can get this guy to go, then all I've got to do is hook one up to the other side and they should both go. And then I got to figure out how joystick things work. Okay, so moment of truth here. Let's switch that on. I'm just gonna hold these guys together. Hopefully nothing explodes. All right, so it's not doing it. So it could be a couple things. This power source right here drives the power to this board. Hopefully I won't blow up this chip, but I'm gonna hook up a larger power supply to this part, and hopefully I don't blow stuff up.
It did not blow up.
I'm using this to control it. It's just plugged in as a power supply right there. This is so dumb. And so, it's actually working though. So there we go. We've got a 6-volt power supply running into the board, and then I've got to figure out how to use the joystick. All right, so right here, I'm just attaching the motor to the Etch-a-Sketch with some hot glue to test to see if the motor will actually turn the Etch-a-Sketch. And then once I'm done, I will use denatured alcohol to remove the hot glue and the motor from the Etch-a-Sketch. Okay, let's talk about what's going on right here because this is just fantastic. So this rubber band was on here just to provide a temporary thing. I think as long as this motor's in the wrong place, it's gonna continue to ride up that thing and it's just gonna pop off after just like a few seconds. But the point is that this freaking works! And so, so excited. All right, while we build this box, let's talk about the frustrating part on the other side of it, which is the computer programming and electrical engineering part of it. Because that's not my background, I don't have the same analytical tools that I normally have for a lot of the stuff I do. So all of this is new to me, and all of this is stuff that I'm just not used to doing. So what I had to do was break the larger problem down into its core basic problems. I had to find the first problem and just approach that and solve that. And then I had to go and move on to the second problem and just solve that problem. In this case, what I had to do was get the X-axis motor working first. Then I was able to take that code and copy paste it and do some tweaks and get the Y-axis working and kind of move on from there. What happened then was I was able to take these separate solutions and add them all together and come up with something just incredible. And that's what I learned from this process is when you're up against something new, something big, something you just don't know how to tackle, take that smallest solvable problem first and then solve that and then move on to the next smallest solvable problem. If we give a problem space, we're actually able to work on it and solve the problem.
That is cool. Me first.
Hold on. I gotta get some different tracks here, or some different.
Are you gonna make it like just the thing sticks out?
Yeah. Hold on. Just a second. These are two.
Not exactly a perfect circle.
No, but it's pretty awesome. So this is the perfect place to stop this video because we've hit this point where it's successful, it's working, and it's taking way too long for me to get this video out. So we're gonna do a part 2. I hate to do that to you, but in part 2 we're gonna solve a lot of the problems that I'm having with it. We're gonna slow it down because it currently moves way too fast. There's some inconsistencies around just everything, so it's hard to draw with. So in part 2, we're gonna solve those problems, so I hope you'll join me for that. I hope you had fun with this. I want you guys to know that you can create something. You can start from scratch, you can learn something completely new. And it's not easy, but it's worth it. It's so much fun to go out and explore and to see what you can actually do. And oh my gosh, this has been such a cool project so far. I can't wait for you to see the end of it and for me to see the end of it. And hopefully we'll get at least a drawing out of this and we'll post it up on the wall and we'll be ready to go. I don't know, or maybe we'll shake it off and it'll be done. All right, join me next time.